guys, Julian here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make purity filter style sex trance. This is the first tutorial I've seen for this style on the market, so make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. You can get this full project file, samples, MIDI, presets, the entire template from this video. It's available at the top of the description on my website, so definitely go ahead and grab that so you can make the best sex trance track of your life today. And this is also the only template I've seen for this style as well, so go ahead, get a leg up on the competition, grab this template while it's available. Thanks for the support, guys, and let's dive in. Alright, so we're at 180 BPM, right? Pretty fast. The first thing we have is the bass. So what we're doing here is we're in the key of C minor. We're going root note, minor 7th, 4th, 3rd. And then root note, 7th, 6th, 4th. Right? So it's like, this is really holding down the chord progression for this track. Like, that's something I realized when I was studying this stuff, is it's like, really, this bass, because the synths are so crazy and jumping around and it's moving so fast, the bass is really going to hold this down. So you're going to define the chord progression with the bass, and then everything is going to kind of go off of that. For the actual sound, this is a Reese made with wavetable. We got the sub oscillator. We've got 2 saw waves, super detuned, so it's a nice classic Reese bass. Low pass filter, right, because you want this to be nice and deep. Classic unison. We have a little bit of overdrive. Here's without it. With it. So it's just adding a bit more grunge to this and just making it hit a bit more. We're converting the bass to mono, very important, so it's not going to be all messy. And then we're side chaining this to the kick. Next thing we have is the kick. So what we're doing here is we've got actually the Ableton drum synth kick, and I'm using this. It's a great way to make kicks for this style, since it really does create that nice kind of like 909 style kick, and you can really work with it and make the kick that you want. I mean, it's perfect, right? So I've got this tuned to C. That's the key of our track, right? We got the envelope up. We've got the decay down pretty short, and the drive. The drive is really what's going to make it hit, as you can hear. We've also got little drum bus. It's only at 30%, so here's without. With it, it just makes it hit like perfectly right in the mix. And then we have the rest of our drums. So yeah, sounds pretty crazy. We got this really fat hi-hat, 909 ride, and then our snare. These are all from my Ultimate Hard Techno drum library, just like very hard-hitting sounds. And the other thing with these is you might not see any processing on them individually, but actually on this whole group here, with the kick and bass and the drums, we've got them going into an amp. So here's without. And width. So this is just to really get that crunchy, insane purity filter type of sound. I know you guys know what I'm talking about if you've heard those tracks, and you're probably like, wow, how do I really get that to hit that way? Well, this is how you do it. What you're doing is you're pushing the bass frequencies against the high frequencies. And if you've ever tried distortion before, you know that when you put some bass and some high end into distortion at the same time, that's what like really is going to get crunched. Like if I bring this all the way up, now check out what happens if I take out the bass and the kick. Right? And then you bring it back in. So that really helps that distortion just kind of compress everything together. So that's what we're doing. And then it's just at a very small amount. We do have 2 more drum layers outside of there. Right? These like classic break beats. So we got this one. Super like PS2 sort of breakbeat vibes, right? And then this one. So what's happening here is the shaper is essentially cutting out, just if you listen, if I turn the filter off, the shaper is just cutting out like this hi-hat right here. You can hear it in the intro and in this template, but for some reason it's acting weird right now. But basically what is happening is, you can see it's just cutting out that one spot right in there. And what was happening is that hi-hat was kind of like a bit loud and getting in the way. So we're just using the shaper with it, with the filter frequency, to sort of close it right on that. Again, it's acting a little weird right now. It works in the template. I don't know why this is happening in the video. But yeah, it's just cutting out that little hi-hat out of the way just on that one count so that it can fit underneath all the other drums. So kind of an interesting way to use shaper and a low-pass filter. And then we have this first synth melody. So what's happening here is we're actually doing this little melody. Again, we're in the key of C minor, so this is pretty easy to follow, but it's kind of playing, you know, like a bit major with it, right? So basically, like, okay, it's a C minor, so this is the 5th, 4th, 7th, 9th, 3rd, right? We're kind of playing as if this is D sharp major, right? But it's like a very dreamy, major sounding melody, and then you put that against the bass line. Right, so this is just one of these melodies that's adding to all the melodicness of this track. So inside of Poly, what we're doing here is I've got the saw, pulse, and sub. You can see they're all detuned a tiny bit as well, but the sub is at the same oscillator as everything else. We got a little bit of high pass filter and a little bit of low pass filter, and we have, yeah, we're key tracking that a bit, as well as you can see there's a bit of an envelope on each of them, as well as on the volume too. And then there's like, so there's kind of like multiple envelopes on these, which is making it a bit exciting. There's also an envelope on the pulse width and a little bit on the ring mod. Amp envelope set like this. Then we got a little bit of delay, a little bit of reverb, and then we're side chaining to the kick. Then we've got this guy. So what this is it's a piano. I'll turn off the effects and then show you what it sounds like. Another one of these just like ravey kind of melodies that's all adding up. So you put this with this. Right, and you see how it's starting to create that atmosphere. So this, if we're looking at this in the C minor scale, we got root, 7th, 5th, 3rd, root. Like, it's just using some of those voices from the scale. I'm using a piano sample here, actually, like a one-shot piano, because it gives it that very, like, old school kind of... You see what I'm saying? Like, that sort of just very, like... old sampler sort of feel, right? We got a little bit of delay, a little bit of reverb, and then we're side chaining. Then we have this gate pad. So this is playing the same chords that I already showed you in the bass line. We're just inverting them a bit, where we're taking the thirds, putting them up an octave, and the fifths are down an octave as well. So it's kind of spreading it across the keyboard. Then I'll show you this without any effects. It just sounds like this. Right, it's just a simple wavetable pad. We're using the sub 3 shapes and the basic shapes. You can see I've got these panned actually a bit, and we've also got a little bit of sub oscillator. We have both filters, but they're kind of sitting at the same spot. Here's the amp envelope. You can see there's a lot of different movements. We got this envelope too on many different things, but it's like it's not such a drastic envelope. It's just kind of slowly moving some of those things. There's a bit of LFOs on some of these as well, and then you can see over here, so there's a lot of modulation in here. You know, just try this, like try putting envelopes on different things that you wouldn't normally think to, like the pan, you know, it can really bring it to life. We have a bit of random note unison, then we got some reverb, high pass filter, and then this auto pan. And we're using this to create a trance gate. What I'm doing is it's on the 16th notes, phases all the way down, so it's just affecting volume. And then what I'm doing is I'm actually automating the sync rate, so it goes like 16ths to 8ths. And yeah, it's a really interesting way to create a trance gate like that inside of Ableton. It's not that hard to do. I definitely recommend trying this, and then we're just side chaining it. Then we just have 2 more layers. We have this little vocal slice. So yeah, it's this vocal rack. This is from Ableton actually. And then I'm just using some of the chops. Again, we're just adding together all these little melodies and creating this huge, crazy, washed atmosphere, right? We're using a bit of reverb, sidechain, and then just a high pass. And then we just have this vocal. This is going through a bit of reverb, sidechain, and then a high pass. It's just that last thing, like that high-pitched, trancey vocal over all these synths. Again, it's all these little melodies coming together and creating these insane, really cool sort of sex trance atmospheres over top of those drums. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full, awesome template at the top of the description. Definitely grab it. It's the only thing out there like this that I've seen for this style on the market. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. Every little bit helps. Links at the top of the description, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.